There's a little-known statistic that should surprise you. 9 out of 10 drivers use their cars without even knowing half of their built-in features. We're not talking about advanced technology or features exclusive to luxury vehicles. These are basic functions, designed by engineers to make your life easier, safer, and in some cases, even save you thousands of euros in repairs or emergencies. But since no one explains them to you when you buy the car, and the owner's manual ends up gathering dust in the glove compartment, most drivers go years without discovering what their own vehicle can do. Today you're going to learn about 20 hidden functions that will completely change the way you use your car. Some are so obvious once you know them that you'll wonder how you could have ignored them for so long. Others are so ingenious they seem like automotive magic tricks. And the last 5 on this list are so useful they can literally save you from emergency situations or save you hundreds of euros at the mechanic. So get ready, because after this video your car will hold no more secrets for you. The fuel gauge on the side of the fuel cap on the dashboard. This is probably the simplest trick on the entire list, but also one of the most useful when driving a car that isn't yours. Have you ever arrived at a gas station in a rental or borrowed car without remembering which side the fuel cap is on? Most drivers approach slowly, trying to guess, or worse, park on the wrong side and have to drive all the way around. But it turns out that virtually every car manufactured since the 1990s has a small indicator that solves this mystery in a second. Look at the fuel pump icon on your dashboard. Right next to it, you'll see a small arrow pointing left or right. That arrow tells you exactly which side of the car the fuel cap is on. If it points to the right, the cap is on the right side. If it points to the left, it's on the left side. Simple, obvious, but incredibly useful. This little detail was standardized by manufacturers precisely because rental car drivers were constantly getting confused. The hidden compartment under the trunk carpet. Open your car's trunk and lift the carpet from the floor. In most modern vehicles, especially SUVs and sedans, you'll find a secret storage space you've probably never used. This hidden compartment was originally designed to hold the spare tire, jack, and basic tools. But in many current cars that no longer include a full-size spare tire, but only a temporary repair kit, that space is left completely empty and available. It's the perfect place to store things you need to have in the car but don't want on display. The mechanical key, hidden inside the remote. Smart key technology and keyless entry systems are wonderful until the day the remote's battery dies and you're literally locked out of your car. But manufacturers thought of that. Virtually all modern remotes have a traditional mechanical key hidden inside. Look for a small side button or a sliding tab on your keyring. Pressing or sliding, it releases a physical key from the remote's plastic body. That's your emergency key. Now, here's the part many don't know. The lock where you insert that key is also hidden. In most cars, there's a small plastic cover on the driver's side door handle. That cover can be carefully removed, usually by pulling it off with your fingernail or the key itself, revealing a traditional lock underneath, the hook that holds the fuel cap inside the door. When you open the fuel cap to fill up with gas, where do you leave it? Most drivers simply let go, and it hangs by the cable, swinging and often hitting the car's paint. Over time, those small bumps create circular scratches around the fuel tank opening that are impossible to polish out. But it turns out that almost every car has a built-in solution that no one uses. Look carefully inside the fuel filler door where the cap is located. You'll see a small plastic hook, sometimes barely visible, designed specifically to hook the cap while you refuel. You simply twist the cap and hang it on that hook. There it stays perfectly secure, without moving or hitting anything while you fill the tank. It's such a simple design detail that it's almost invisible, but it serves an important function, protecting your car's paint. Furthermore, keeping the cap hooked prevents dirt, dust, or insects from getting into the threaded area of the filler neck. The traction control button for snowy or muddy conditions. That button with the skidding car icon that you've probably never touched has a critical function that can save you when you get stuck. Traction control is a safety system that detects when a wheel loses traction and spins, automatically cutting power to that wheel to prevent the car from skidding. It's excellent for normal driving on asphalt, but it becomes your enemy when you're stuck in deep snow, mud, or sand. In those situations, you need the wheels to spin quickly to generate momentum and get out. But traction control, by detecting wheel slippage, constantly cuts power, preventing you from generating the necessary momentum. That's where this button comes in. By holding it down for a few seconds, you temporarily deactivate traction control, allowing the wheels to spin freely. This lets you accelerate, generate momentum, and usually get yourself out of where you're stuck. The key is knowing when to use it and when not to. On normal roads, in the rain, or on slippery pavement, never deactivate it. The telescopic steering wheel adjustment lever that almost no one uses. Ask 10 drivers how to adjust the steering wheel position and probably 6 won't know it's possible. Most simply adjust the seat forward or backward until they can comfortably reach the wheel, unaware that the steering wheel itself can be moved. Below the steering column, usually on the left side, there's a lever or small release mechanism. Activating it unlocks the steering wheel, allowing you to adjust it in 2 directions, up and down, and toward or away from you. This lets you find the perfect ergonomic position regardless of your height or arm length. A correct steering wheel position isn't just a matter of comfort, it's about safety. If the steering wheel is too low, it obstructs your view of the instrument panel. If it's too high or too far away, your arms tire and your reaction time in emergencies is slower. The ideal position is one where your arms are slightly bent when you hold the steering wheel in the 9 and 3 o'clock position, and where you can see all the instruments on the instrument panel without having to lean forward or move your head. Once you find that perfect position, make sure the lever is securely locked in place. Some electric models even have a memory function and can save different positions for different drivers. The sliding sunshade extension covers side gaps. Standard sunshades are excellent for blocking the sun when it's directly in front of you, but there's a problem. When the sun is low, especially during sunrise or sunset, it shines in from the side through that gap between the sunshade and the car's pillar. That's where many drivers don't know there's a built-in solution. If you look closely at your sunshade, you'll notice it has an additional panel that can slide to the side. This extendable panel is specifically designed to cover that side gap when the sun is at a low angle. You simply slide it toward the side window, and it blocks those annoying rays that would otherwise blind you. Some models have a rigid extension that pivots on a hinge, while others have a flexible panel that unfolds like an accordion. The concept is the same, to block light coming in from the side. The ingenious thing is that when you don't need it, the panel retracts completely into the main sun visor, so you don't even notice it's there. This small design detail makes a huge difference in comfort and safety when driving directly into the rising or setting sun. The ice temperature sensor on the dashboard that many ignore. If your car has a small snowflake icon that occasionally lights up on the dashboard, it's not decorative. It's an outside temperature sensor warning you that road conditions can be dangerous. When the outside temperature drops below 4 degrees Celsius, many cars activate this indicator because that's the range where ice can form on the pavement even if you can't see it. Black ice, especially on bridges and overpasses, is invisible but deadly. It can cause you to lose control of the car in a fraction of a second. That's why manufacturers included this warning sensor. Some systems even change color according to the level of danger: blue for cold but safe, yellow for caution, and red when there is a real risk of ice. In more advanced cars, the system even displays the exact temperature in degrees on a small screen on the dashboard. Many drivers see that snowflake icon, don't know what it means, and simply ignore it. Big mistake. That little light can save you from a serious accident by alerting you that you need to slow down, increase your following distance, and be more careful with the brakes and accelerator. The air conditioning recirculation button you should use more often. That button with the car icon and a circular arrow controls where the air you breathe inside the vehicle comes from. When it's off, the system draws fresh air from outside, filters it, and sends it inside. When it's on, it recirculates the air already inside the car without bringing in any from outside. Why would you want to do that? For 2 main reasons. First, when you drive past a truck belching black smoke, when there are wildfires in the area, when you go through poorly ventilated tunnels, or when you're stuck in heavy traffic breathing the exhaust fumes of dozens of cars, turning on recirculation blocks all that polluted air. Your cabin air filter will thank you for not having to process all that gunk. Second reason, and this is the one few people know, turning on recirculation makes your air conditioner up to 20% more efficient. Why? Because instead of constantly cooling hot air coming in from outside, it's cooling air that's already cool inside the car, requiring less energy. Windows that open and close with the remote control without entering the car. This is one of those tricks that seems like magic the first time you discover it. On hot summer days, your car parked in the sun becomes an oven. The interior can easily reach 60 or 70 degrees Celsius. Opening the door and feeling that blast of heat is like opening the door of a lit oven. But it turns out that many cars have a hidden feature that can ventilate the interior before you get in. Press and hold the unlock button on your remote for several seconds, usually between 3 and 5. In many models, this will cause all the windows to roll down automatically. The hot air trapped inside escapes, allowing fresh air to circulate. Some cars even open the sunroof if they have one. It's a brilliant way to pre-cool the interior without having to be inside enduring the heat. The feature also works in reverse. Pressing and holding the lock button for several seconds will roll up all the windows and close the sunroof. The shift lock override is for when your battery is completely dead. Imagine this situation. Your battery is so discharged that even the dashboard lights won't turn on. The car is completely dead. You need to move it, whether to push it, tow it, or simply get it out of the place where it's stuck. But there's a problem. The gear shift is locked in park, and you can't move it to neutral without electricity. Or at least that's what you think. It turns out that virtually all automatic transmissions have a manual shift lock override, an emergency mechanism that allows you to release the shifter without electrical power. Look for a small plastic cap near the base of the gear shift, usually on the right or rear side. That cap covers an override button. You'll need something thin like a small screwdriver or your car key to remove the cap. Underneath, you'll find a small button or slot. With your foot on the brake, press that button and simultaneously move the gear shift to neutral. The locking mechanism is mechanically released, allowing movement. Now the car can roll freely. This feature is absolutely essential in emergencies. I've known drivers who paid for unnecessary towing because they didn't know this override existed. The tow truck driver arrived, stuck a screwdriver in that button, moved the lever to neutral, and charged €100 for literally 10 seconds of work. You can do exactly the same thing without paying a thing. The rear-view mirror lever that eliminates nighttime glare. Driving at night with a car behind you using its high beams is torture. The reflection in your rear-view mirror blinds you, making it impossible to see properly. Instinctively, you squint, turn your head, or even adjust the mirror to the other side. But your mirror has a built-in solution you've probably never used. Underneath the rear-view mirror is a small lever or tab. When you tilt it towards you, the mirror changes angle, and magically, the bright reflection almost completely disappears. You can still see the cars behind you, but without that harsh glare. How does this apparent magic work? The rear-view mirror isn't a simple mirror. It has two reflective surfaces at slightly different angles. The front surface is partially transparent, and the back surface is the actual mirror. In the normal position, you look directly into the rear-view mirror, which reflects at full intensity. When you tilt the lever, you change the angle so you look at the partially transparent front surface, which reflects much less light, but still allows you to see what's behind you. It's an ingenious design that has existed since the 1950s, but is completely unknown to many modern drivers. The emergency escape handle inside the trunk that can save lives. This is one of the most important tricks on the entire list because it can literally save a life. Since 2002, all cars sold in the United States have been legally required to have an emergency release mechanism inside the trunk. Europe adopted similar regulations shortly after. The reason is chilling but real. There have been cases of people, especially children, becoming trapped inside trunks, either accidentally while playing or in kidnapping situations. Without a way out, the outcome was tragic. That's why it's now mandatory to have a way to open the trunk from the inside. If you open your trunk and look carefully, you'll see a pull handle, usually fluorescent, bright green or yellow, located near the latch mechanism. That handle is designed to be visible even in complete darkness and large enough for even a child to grasp and pull. Pulling it opens the trunk instantly from the inside without a key or electricity. It's completely mechanical. Some models have an illuminated push button instead of a handle, but the concept is the same. This mechanism has saved documented lives. Children playing hide-and-seek who accidentally got locked in were able to get out. People in dangerous situations were able to escape. It's one of those features you hope you'll never need, but it's absolutely critical that it exists and works. The radio volume automatically adjusts according to your speed. Have you noticed that when you accelerate on the highway, the volume of your radio seems to increase on its own? You're not imagining it, and your radio isn't possessed. It's a smart feature called SVC, Speed Volume Compensation. It works like this. When you're driving slowly in the city with the windows closed, the ambient noise inside the car is relatively low. But when you accelerate on the highway, wind noise, tire noise, and engine noise increase significantly. If the radio volume remained constant, you suddenly wouldn't be able to hear it properly. The SVC system monitors your speed and automatically increases the volume gradually as you accelerate, compensating for the additional noise. When you decelerate or stop, the volume automatically decreases so it doesn't deafen you when the ambient noise disappears. It's so gradual and smooth that many drivers never consciously notice it. They simply assume the radio is always at the correct level, unaware that the system is constantly adjusting in the background. In some cars, you can configure how aggressive this adjustment is, from completely off to very pronounced. The auto lock feature that automatically locks your car when you walk away. Modern smart keys not only allow you to unlock your car without taking the key out of your pocket, they can also automatically lock it when you walk away. This feature, called auto lock or passive locking, uses proximity sensors to detect when the key fob moves beyond a certain distance from the vehicle. When you cross that threshold, usually between 2 and 5 meters depending on the model, the car locks automatically. The lights flash to confirm the lock, just like when you press the button manually. This feature is incredibly convenient. You arrive home with your hands full of grocery bags, close the car door with your elbow, and simply walk to your front door. The car locks itself as you walk away. You don't need to juggle getting the key fob out of your pocket and pressing the button. For many drivers, this sounds risky. What if someone approaches the car right after you walk away? Well, manufacturers thought of that. The system usually has a configurable delay. You can adjust whether the locking happens immediately upon walking away, after 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or even disable it completely. Some systems also verify that all doors are closed before activating the auto lock, the dual function of the hazard light button that activates panic mode. We all know the hazard light button, that large red triangle that activates the hazard lights when you have a problem on the road. But that button has secret functions that few know about. In many vehicles, holding down the hazard light button for several seconds activates a panic mode. The lights don't just flash, they flash in a faster, more aggressive and distinctive pattern. Simultaneously, the horn begins to blare in an intermittent pattern. This panic mode is designed for situations where you need to urgently attract attention, whether because you feel threatened, witness an accident, or need medical assistance. The distinctive pattern alerts those nearby that something serious is happening. In some models, panic mode also turns on the car's interior lights and disables the door locks to facilitate access for first aid if needed. Another hidden function in some cars, a quick double tap of the hazard light button changes the flashing speed of the lights. One tap activates the normal hazard lights. A quick double tap makes them flash faster, which is useful for getting more attention in situations where you need other drivers to notice you immediately, like when your car breaks down in the middle of a highway at night. Seatbelt height adjustment optimizes your protection. Seatbelts save lives, that's undeniable, but they only work correctly if they're positioned correctly on your body. An improperly adjusted seatbelt can cause serious injuries in a crash, even when fastened. That's why most modern cars have a height adjustment for the upper anchor point of the driver's and front passenger's seatbelts. Look at the pillar where the seatbelt comes out near your shoulder. You'll see a button or lever on the side. Pressing it unlocks the anchor, and you can slide it up or down. The correct positioning of the seatbelt is crucial. The diagonal strap should cross your chest and shoulder, never your neck. If you're short and the seatbelt crosses your neck or face, it's dangerous. In a crash, the force of the seatbelt against your neck can cause serious injuries or even asphyxiation. If you're tall and the seatbelt is too low, it can slip off your shoulder in a crash, reducing its effectiveness. The correct fit is where the diagonal strap crosses the center of your collarbone and fits snugly across your chest. The lap belt should sit low on your hips, never on your stomach. Many drivers never adjust this height because they simply don't know it's possible. The maintenance mode that resets sensors and clears minor system errors. This is the most advanced trick on the list and the one that can potentially save you the most money. Many modern cars have a hidden diagnostic or maintenance mode that allows you to reset certain systems and clear temporary error codes without going to a mechanic. It's accessed through a specific sequence that usually involves the pedals and the ignition key. The exact sequence varies depending on the make and model, but a common example is, with the car off, press the brake pedal, then the accelerator, then turn the key to the on position without starting the engine, release the pedals in reverse order, and press the accelerator 3 times quickly. If done correctly, the dashboard will display a diagnostic menu with options such as resetting the service light, calibrating sensors, checking individual systems, and clearing non-critical error codes. This is the mode that technicians use to perform basic maintenance without connecting a professional scanner. Why is it so useful? Because many times the check engine light comes on due to temporary errors or sensors that simply need recalibration. If you've just changed your oil, you can reset the service reminder yourself without paying the garage. If a tire pressure sensor is malfunctioning after you've properly inflated the tires, you can recalibrate it from this menu. If the check engine light is on due to an old fault that's already been repaired, but the code was never cleared, you can clear it. Important: this mode should not be used to ignore real problems. And there you have it. 20 hidden features your car has had all along, but you've probably never used.